Climb into your heart on twisted.
Cowboys swings, makes right one, deep left center field. Mullins looks up, and it's out of here.
Good morning, Mets family. You already know it's your boy Rasheed McDonald, and today is April 14th, 2025. And tonight, the New York Mets will be taking on the Minnesota Twins at Target Field. Now, your New York Mets are the only team in Major League Baseball to not have lost 2 games in a row. And with their 10-5 start this season, that puts them first in the NL East and with the 4th best record in Major League Baseball. That's not even counting how good their starting pitching has been. Now, in order to accomplish that, they needed to win yesterday afternoon. So, yeah, tú sabes. Let's get to the highlights. Mets looking to win their 4th straight series in a row, and they will have to do it against old friend Luis Severino, picking it up. Top 6. Luis Torrens has been hot for the Mets, and he'll drive in the first run and get it started. Picking it up next inning, Francisco Lindor with the runner on first goes gap, and then the center fielder misplays it, so Luis Angel Acuna will score all the way from first to give the Mets a 2-0 lead. Up 2-0, Mark Vientos will draw the walk to make it a 3-0 game. Going up to the next inning, Tyrone Taylor will hit it over the head of Lawrence Butler, and that will be a triple. The Mets will have 2 in this game and in this inning. After the triple by Taylor, Jose Leclerc with the pickoff attempt, but he'll get called for the balk, and the explanation was that the third baseman wasn't in place to make the play, that the ball took him to the play. So A's are upset. They'll lose the ball game 8-0. Tonight's matchup is Clay Holmes going up against Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan, right now, with the injury to the Minnesota Twins, Pablo Lopez, means that he is their best pitcher right now. And for the Twins, that's a tough thing and a tough pill to swallow. But for the Mets, it means they have to get down to business tonight. You understand there's a travel from Sacramento to Minnesota, but I will say this. They have what it takes to hold it down, right? It's not to mention what they have already given on the starting pitching front. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the rest of the probables matchups for the rest of this series. We have Tyler McGill for the Mets and Griffin Canning, and for the Twins, they have Ober, and in the final game, they will be going with David Festa. Let's jump back into the conversation about the starting pitching, right? Heading into the season, there was a lot of hoopla about the Mets and their starting pitching and whether they were being cheap and not investing in high-end pitchers. Well, it turns out that the Mets were actually identifying guys who can fit their system and can adjust or develop into their pitching lab. And their pitching lab is something that other starting pitchers are starting to take notice. Pitchers who, their careers need to get a jump start, and the Mets are providing the jumper cables to start back up careers, and other starting pitchers are starting to take notice, which is why I said the Mets would be heavily invested or involved in trying to trade for Sandy Alcantara. Just because not only the connection with the other other players on the team, but other pitchers are starting to take notice on what the Mets are bringing forward with their pitching lab. And if other guys are starting to see, hey, this guy got his career jump started again, this guy's getting his career back on track, agents are going to start heading out there, and they're going to start telling their pitchers, hey, take a second look at the Mets, because what they're bringing in, what they're developing is something quite amazing in, restarting careers. So that, to me, is one of the reasons why the Mets have had so much success. It's their pitching lab. It's what they're, getting from their manager and the trust that he's putting in their pitchers, and Jeremy Hefner, right? What he is getting out of these guys and the way they're receiving the information and putting that back out, So it's the input-output for me that is huge when it comes to what is taking place with relievers and starters for this Mets team, and it's amazing. And it shouldn't be a surprise considering last season, right? Luis Severino had a good year, and that got him the bag. And even Sean Manaea, who struggled in San Francisco, went, pitched for the Mets, got the bag, returned to the Mets. Another area of conversation has been the offense, right? Pete Alonso has done his job. Francisco Lindor, who was 1 for 9 before yesterday afternoon, really showed that he, can still get it going, right? I mean, to even have that conversation is wild. But hey, he still drove in a couple runs. He still did his job, right? So can't knock him for that. Juan Soto, again, everybody is losing their mind because he's not getting timely hits and he's not doing this, and all he's doing is walk. These are conversations that even other fan bases have had when they had Juan Soto. Padres was talking about that, right, in 2023 when he was with them. I mean, the Yankees they got some of the best of Juan Soto last season, and I truly think that the best is yet to come. I mean, right now what he's doing again is getting enough to get through, and that's all he needs to do right now. Like, he's showing like, hey, I don't have to do much because we have a good offense that, once they're clicking and firing on all cylinders, it's going to show, it's going to prove that, hey, I don't have to be hitting everything out the ballpark at the moment. So I wouldn't worry about the offense. They're going to get it going. The bottom of the order, they're going to figure it out. They're going to keep getting their chances. Right now, all they need to do is just keep plugging, keep chugging, keep getting it going, right? And things will turn out to be perfectly fine, right? If this is the worst that we have to go through right now, I think everybody will sign up for that in a heartbeat and take it, right? 10-5, first place in the NL East. So we'll see what happens tonight. We got Clay Holmes on the mound for the Mets, and hopefully they take this series. We got the 4 with the Cardinals when they come back home, and then we see the Phillies for 3 before they go to Washington. So let's see what happens. You already know the vibes. Let's go Mets.